Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is what medical coding school do I recommend? If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay, so I am getting this query a lot. What medical coding school do I recommend? Sometimes people will ask me, hey Blue, I've been at a school for many years. What school do you recommend that I go to? Or hey Blue, what about this trade school or that trade school or this online trade school? I have no relationships with any of the online trade schools. I will start off by saying that first, okay? So the thing that I tell people is that whenever you are looking to go into a medical coding program, I can only recommend two. The one directly with AHIMA, or the American Health Information Management Association, or the one directly with the American Academy of Professional Coders, AAPC. And I will be leaving both links to both associations in the description box below. Both of them have their own online medical coding programs. Now, with AHIMA, they do have a 13-course bundle that you can pay for a la carte, right? Meaning that you can purchase a course at a time, so it's not so heavy right away. Give or take, these courses are going to cost you, through either association, give or take at least $4,000, okay, out of pocket. But if you're wanting to go a la carte, that's fine. AHIMA has that option for their course online. With AAPC, there's a few other fees that go into their medical coding program. So the way that they have their medical coding program set up is they have a separate bundle that covers the anatomy and medical terminology stuff. Then they say there's the coding bundle. The coding bundle is 4 months, I believe. And you can pay to have extensions on that coding bundle for the time that you need for the medical coding portion, but they're going to charge you. Also, when you get ready to take your certification exam with AAPC, they do require you to be a member of their association, which is going to be an additional fee, okay? And this fee is $190. This fee has to be paid every single year in order to maintain your medical coding credential through the American Academy of Professional Coders. AHIMA, or the American Health Information Management Association, does not have this requirement, okay? There is a separate fee for members and a separate fee for non-members, okay? So that's something that you can think about. It is beneficial to be a member of the associations. You do get access to a lot more material. You do get access to CEUs. Both of them do offer that with their memberships. So that is something to consider, because you will have to maintain your certification with continuing education units. If you are earning continuing education units before you get your certification, these do not count. The only ones that will count is the day that you get your certification. Those will start to count because that is when you got your certification. If you earn them before, it is not going to count. So you can go to either one of the associations and try to ask, but I will tell you now what they're going to tell you is that those do not count, okay? When you're not certified, they do not count yet, okay? So I'm going to leave it like that. But I want you guys to know that whoever you go through, right? If you decide not to go through the associations, either one, you only need to go through one, okay? But if you decide not to go through them directly, you want to go through a college course perhaps, or because a lot of times colleges will have their medical billing and coding programs. However, going to college does not necessarily mean you're going to get hands-on training. That's something that you need to think about too. A lot of learning medical coding is going to be independently driven. Whether you go to a trade school, whether you go to a college, whether you go to online learning, it is really independently driven. Sometimes you do get lucky and you get into these really good coding programs. I don't know. And please don't send me an email asking me which ones, because I really don't. Again, I don't have relationships with these schools. I didn't go to them. So I can't recommend if they're good or not. What I do tell people to look for is, if you're going to go to one of these, make sure that it is not more than what HANDBOOK or AAPC would charge, right? So they have about $4,000, give or take, on each one. because with AHIMA, you will have to purchase the books separately with AHIMA to go through their coding program, okay? But with that, you want to make sure that the program that you're getting into, if you're going to a trade school, you're going to a college, it is preparing you for AHIMA or AAPC certification exams. Meaning they'll usually say either the CCA or the CCS or the CPC. So if they're training you for these, then you know you're good, okay? Because that is what you're looking for. If they are not training you for those three, okay, or even if they say the CCSP, sometimes they will say that. CCS, CCA, CCSP, or the CPC. They have to be training you for any one of these, okay? If they are not training you for these, that program is going to be a waste of your time, because there is another credential out there that they say, oh yes, we give you a free voucher to take this certification exam. I challenge you to look in your area and see if they are asking for that particular certification in your area. And I think that you will find that they do not. Okay, so don't waste your time and do not waste your money. Just because it is cheaper does not necessarily mean that it is going to benefit you. A lot of times they will try to use this to sell the programs. Oh, this is cheaper, and we'll still prepare you. Okay, guys, that's where you got to really kind of pay attention, because they will talk fast and they will try to tell you and sweet talk you with all the things that you want to hear about a medical coding program. Do you know you can work at home? Do you know you can make all this money? And do not get rooked in just by all this money talk. Okay, this is why I do not talk about money on my channel. My channel is for people who are serious about medical coding, because medical coding itself is very intense. Everybody knows that medical coders make good money. I don't have to sit here and hawk a show talking about, oh, money, money, money. When you guys can look in your area and see what medical coders start at in your area. And that's the plain truth, because again, you go different places in the US, they're going to start their coders off at different salaries. But I really want you guys to think very carefully. If the school is trying to sell you money right away, that you're going to make a lot of money, go find another school. Find another school, because that school is not interested in educating you. They're interested in selling a product. Now, I've been through this. I went through a trade school, and people will ask me, what trade school did you go to? That trade school, unless you come from my hometown, is not going to matter to you. So the thing is, with my trade school, I had to go to 3 different ones, right? The first 2, that was their hard sell. They wanted to sell me, oh yeah, you can work at home with this. You can make all this money. And I felt like that's not the place where I need to be. The last place was the place that I settled on, or the last place that I knew I wanted to go, because she didn't talk to me about money right away. She talked to me about, what do I know about medical coding? That was her first question. And when I told her nothing, she said, what do you know about the medical coding associations? And I said, nothing. She took the time to explain AHIMA and AAPC. She took the time to explain those to me. And because she did, I was like, okay, this is telling me what I'm going to be learning, and who is going to set me up for success as far as like when I get out of here, what do I do next, right? So because of that, I went to that school. And then at the end of our talk, she talked about money, but she talked about money in a way that was understandable, as far as like, okay, that's reasonable to start out as. It's reasonable because I'm technically trained. That's what I could expect. And so I was like, okay. And that's exactly what I got. And so I was just like, oh, well, all right. When I finally did get started. And that was a couple of months later, So that's the thing, guys. They're going to try to sell you this field. And these schools, that's their job. If you tell the people how hard this is and how much time they're going to have to study and what they're going to have to do, like as far as like learn and stuff like that, we have to know what a doctor knows while never having gone to medical school. No one has said that. No one says that in the schools. Okay, I started saying that on my channel when I started this channel here on YouTube in 2018, because it's the truth. So again, we have to know this very serious and complicated, complex documentation. We have to know all of these words. And because we do, it takes a studious person to do it. You know, doctors get 10 to 15 years to be a doctor, and we get 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months. Now, I say 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months because you should look for a program that is as long, 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months. You know, sometimes people write me, hey, Blue, this program is 8 months. 8 months is a lot better than trying to get through in 6 months or 4 months. There are some programs out there for medical coding. Oh, you can learn medical coding in 16 weeks. That's not setting people up for success. That's setting people up to fail. Because at the end of the day, when you look at everything that we have to know, and then you're trying to send people out into the world barely knowing what they know, sometimes they don't even grasp what they're doing. They just learned how to pass a certification exam. That is not a good reflection on who we are supposed to be as medical coders. I take this field very seriously, which is why I have my channel. I speak very bluntly because that's just my nature, and I don't want people to be taken advantage of. So if you take what I say, like you get offended by it, I'm sorry for you. But I don't want you to be taken advantage of by somebody out there who is willing to say all of the sweet things just to get you in and just to set you up to fail. I have no dog in the fight, whether you decide to get into medical coding or not. But what I'm telling you is this. It takes a strong person with a strong will and a strong mind in order to get into this field, to be able to stay here and to be able to continue to do it and to get really good at it. Because there are people who go to work to collect a check and go home. I do not do that. I do not do that. And I have not done that ever. When I found my aha moment in 2014, that sealed the deal for me. I've always enjoyed it, but I really developed a passion for it in 2014. And that's where I am now, where I'm not working. This is not work to me. And so I want you guys to be set up for success. I don't want you to be taken advantage of. But when it comes to these medical coding programs, don't sit there and blame the medical coding program. Well, they didn't teach me, they didn't do this. You have to do your part as well. Because they're going to be slick and they're going to try to get you out as fast as they can, because that's what they do. That's how they keep food on the table. They gotta turn out all of these people, and they gotta push these dreams onto these people as much as they can, because that's what they do. They're salespeople. But once you get in it, it's your responsibility to start learning it. No one's gonna hold your hand there. No one's gonna sit there and guide you through that part. You have to be the captain of your own ship, and you gotta be able to say, okay, this is my ship. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to chart my course. So make sure that you understand that when you're getting into this. It's a lot of study. And if you can find yourself a really good mentor, that's a great thing. If you can find yourself a tutor, sometimes you need somebody else to explain things to you. And if you have to spend a couple of dollars to do it, it's only an investment in your future. I do tutoring. There's a ton of tutors on LinkedIn as well. So you have your choice. But just get out there and really start to make sure that you're practicing, make sure that you're studying, and make sure that you understand this is a commitment. This is not a sprint, guys. This is a marathon. It is a marathon. I am 13 years in, gonna be 14 here pretty soon, and I'm still learning. So that's my message for today. But yes, guys, think about that when you're signing up for these programs. I can only recommend directly the associations themselves. I will be leaving those in the description box below, so make sure that you check them out. You can also do self-study. I do have a self-study template that you can look through my videos for independent study, and it is there. All of the books that I recommend, the time and everything else is all there. So make sure that you check that out if you're interested in studying on your own for the certification exams. It is possible, but it takes a lot of discipline. So I'm going to wrap this one up. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this because it may help somebody else. I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.